Since 1983, FAME has helped business and education work for Maine. Contact the authority, the Finance Authority of Maine. You're watching Mainebiz Sunday, Maine's business news source.
Welcome back. Our first two guests come from two very different fields. One runs a small tech startup, and the other is a nonprofit development director. But they share a go-get-'em attitude that has served them well in their respective positions. Tony Jabar has been called a serial entrepreneur. He's currently CEO of Cerealus in Waterville, a company that develops products primarily for the paper industry. He's in the process of commercializing a green product that improves the bonding strength of paper that could be a boon for Maine's paper industry. And Casey Bromberg is the development director at Kennebec Valley Community Action Program. Under her watch, she's brought in more than $600,000 in new funding to support programs that help low-income families avoid foreclosure and for laid-off workers to retrain for a new career. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
And congratulations for being on the next list.
Thank you.
And it's kind of cool because I get to talk to the next emerging leaders, the best and the brightest. So, Tony, I want to start with you. What is Cerealus Holdings, and what do we need to know about that?
Well, we are a product development and technology commercialization company. We don't manufacture any specific products. We, in essence, take intellectual property or ideas and work on developing a product for use in, as you mentioned earlier, this particular case, the paper industry. And then we go to a stage where we try and demonstrate its commercial viability, and ultimately our long-term strategy would be to hand the manufacturing off to a manufacturing company. Mm-hmm. That's not to say that at some point we may not actually manufacture, but at this point we're in the kind of the demonstration phase of the commercial viability of these products.
Okay. Yeah, one of the things that came through in the profile that they wrote about you in Mainebiz is this, you're really known as not only serial entrepreneur, but the idea man, the idea guy. And you're quoted as saying, I need 15 labs just to keep up with the ideas. It becomes a triage of development. We identify those that have the greatest impact and can be brought to market in the shortest time, and that satisfies our intellectual curiosity. Talk to me about that triage process, because I can see that. There's all these ideas. Which one's going to be the most profitable in the shortest term, but how do you do that without losing sight of the long-term profitability issues, too?
Well, that quite frankly, is one of the challenges, is not to just let every idea, run away with every idea, otherwise you'd really never get anywhere. The way I look at it is, it's an upside-down funnel. We kind of start with one. When we started the business 4 years ago, and I need to mention that this is a collaboration with the University of Maine Process Development Center. So we have a team of people, so it's not just my ideas necessarily.
And you went to school there, and
I did.
University of Maine, that's where part of that connection came from?
That's correct. In fact, the director up there, Mike Bilodeau, and I were at the university at the same time. And he was, quite frankly, the first person I called when I initially started the company looking for replacements for fluorocarbons. So we play a lot of what if. As we start with one product or one application, it kind of branches off into others, and we kind of try to focus on the ones that look like they can have immediate impact as well as economic impact, because the greatest ideas in the world, a lot of them are laying on the ground or in books because they don't have much commercial viability. So that helps us focus.
You also, you really, I think it's the Cerealus product in particular. It looks like it has huge commercial opportunities for you. You said that it might be, quote, it might be a huge moneymaker, but in the end, this is where I want to be. I always tell people that I consider myself fortunate to be able to do what I want to do, where I want to do it. So that also gets to the question of, once you find that product and develop it, how do you avoid being bought out by investors and having it taken away? You want to keep that here.
Well, that's true. But to the extent that it satisfies my own kind of objectives, being able to focus on the idea development or the product development, that allows me to stay here, focus on that, and either license off the manufacturing technology or work with another company to do the actual manufacturing. It allows me to stay here. Pulp and paper industry obviously has a very prominent place here in the States, so most of where we go when we first start would be here in the state. The Cerealus product is something that in fact we just filed provisional patents for this week, and it's pretty exciting.
It does sound.
Yeah, the scope is pretty immense.
Great. I don't think you're going to run out of ideas anytime soon, so
there'll
probably be some more.
I don't think so.
I'm going to move on to Casey. Tell us about KB Cap, and what do we need to know about that? What is that organization?
KVCAP is one of 10 community action agencies that work statewide, and our mission is about supporting solutions that build stronger individuals, families, and communities. And we're the second largest, which is saying a little something because community action impacts 250,000 people throughout Maine every year. We service about 20,000 of those people, and we work over 4 counties: Kennebec, Somerset, Lincoln, and Saginaw. So we're stretching all the way from the Canadian border in Jackman all the way down to the coast in Bath and the mid-coast. It's about 91 communities and 20,000 people a year, over 20,000 people a year that we work with.
Okay.
And it's programs from everything from fuel assistance to transportation to preventive health clinics and a lot of services in energy and housing.
And you've been specializing especially in kind of those kind of programs for foreclosure, helping folks with that, and also some job retraining kinds of things. Talk to us about that and why that's important, do you think, right now?
Well, for 45 years, community action in Maine has been trying to help support people in poverty and empower people out of those poverty situations. But in this economy today, we're finding a lot more people coming to our doors that have never been there before. And it's because everything is changing. There's a lot more going on. And in Maine, every month there's between 200 and 400 home foreclosures. And we're one of the lower rates in the country, but there's no reason that anyone needs to get into that situation. Our services are all free, and so what we've tried to start to do is to combine some of our services where if you're coming in for fuel assistance, we're going to try and offer you the chance to get some of that counseling well in advance to help you manage your budgets. These are all financial literacy issues that people don't know about.
So that's something you talk about in the profile too, was that kind of lack of financial literacy in the state, and that opportunity to have them coming into your door. I mean, that's one of the things I really like about what you've done is they're coming into your door for a specific service, but let's talk about the full range of things that and have you increase their financial literacy.
Right, and then we are also working with a program that's been part of the stimulus package, and we started it a few years actually before I came to KVCAP, and then now it's kind of developed into a full-scale career training program where we're offering counseling career counseling at public libraries, places where people can't get to a career center. When you think about rural Maine, there's a few places with career centers and then others not.
Right.
It might take someone an hour and a half to drive to a career center to get services. We're trying to plug that gap.
And it seems like that's where your agency in particular can really fill that need. You know, one of the things that is a word that's often used in describing you, and it comes up a lot with all of our candidates, with all the nexters, but you in particular, is that word, that passion. And it really comes through that passion and kind of that your energy for this is infectious. And I think that's the kind of thing that makes a program like that successful in particular. So
it's classic of KVCAP. Everybody that works there really believes in what they're doing, and that's what makes it a pleasure to work there every day.
We're going to wrap this segment right there. We're going to have you guys come back in our afterthought segment that we see on the web. We're going to bring in the other nexters and open the questions up for a lot more broader kinds of topics for you guys to all weigh in on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Great. Stay with us. We'll be right back to speak with 2 more of the Maine 2010 nexters. Stay tuned.
Mainebiz Sunday is brought to you by Bangor Savings Bank, where you can enjoy free ATMs worldwide.